Good morning. So, doing something a little different. Every once in a while, I like to review the Substack leaderboards. Actually, I've only done it once before, but I didn't get very far. The goal today is to go through these leaderboards in the different categories and just follow any Substacks that I like. And the categories are going to be probably culture, might as well look through that. It might not be that. It's probably not even that large. That. 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 I guess that. Starting with probably travel. And then culture, I guess. Then literature. And then humor. Oh shit, why'd I close? Closed international. So this is a classic non-paginated. Load another page when you scroll to the bottom. UI component. Basically, we do this until it errors out. have better error handling in Google Chrome. Okay, so there's 316 publications in the travel section on the leaderboard. Oh, there's the error. 525 on... Get the error over here. Culture. Literature. $5.25 error. So it looks like that's the cutoff. Just the top 525 in each category. And then maybe there's like a minimum number of followers that you have to be on the leaderboard at all. It's probably like the top 525 above. Let's see how much this guy has. Doesn't say. Because he didn't have an about section. Over 1,000. So maybe you need at least 1,000. I'm gonna update my category, if possible, from IRL. I'm just chatting. Viewing the Substack leaderboards. Perfect. Okay. $313. faith and spirituality, top fiction, top philosophy, top history, top education. This probably won't even have... Well, I bet you... It might have a lot. This is a heavy blog topic. Contemplify. I like this platform. They, it's a nice app. They have a web app and a mobile app. Like if I were to try to open Git app, download the Substack app. It's just the mobile app, probably. There's no desktop app. They should specify that. 525 error, okay. Yeah, lots of stuff. Faith, spirituality. That's a full Substack category right there. Top fiction publications. I didn't select news because I don't think I'm going to find any bloggers really that I'd want to follow in news. Only 282 in fiction. But that's probably their most popular category. I had to guess. Transhuman axiology. That's weird. Weird sounding publication. Only 455 in philosophy. Probably the other best website for blogs is WordPress.com, I think. And what are we looking for here? Well, we're looking for anybody with any writing talent. And I mean that in the most critical and merciless way possible. Anybody with any writing talent that's actually putting it to use on Substack. But not only that, but somebody who's also has the guts to simultaneously create things essentially not in his imagination but in reality that he can write about, like Hunter S. Thompson, or at least someone who's trying to do that, which I don't think I will find, but it doesn't mean I can't look. I have a lot of publications here. Maybe guts wasn't the right word. Just the initiative. I like the business of literature. Writing that sells. Oh man, coffee is way too dark. Alright, let's start scrolling. I think most of these I'll just be able to look at and be able to tell just from the description whether I want to look at it. But I guess, I don't know, maybe I'll... what's a smart way to do this? Maybe... pull the tab out one at a time. Paris by Mouth, the inside track from Paris. Everything you need to know about where to eat in Paris. Nope. The Contender. Travel, style, fishing, design, etc. Welcome to the game. David Coggins, author of The Believer, The Optimist, and the New York Times bestseller Men and Style. For years I've written about travel and style. Where to buy a suit in Naples to great whiskey bars in Tokyo. Okay. Embrace sartorial moment. Time waits for no band. Okay, so I need to make sure I'm staying focused on just looking for publications that are focusing on the style of writing that I'm looking for. and not say, oh yeah, I could be interested in this if I tried. But rather just say, this is not what I'm looking for. Move on to the next one. Stop reclining your air seat. They took what out of my hotel? Consumer alert. Pro tips for handling a refund roadblock. So I'm not bashing all these people saying they're bad writers. Obviously, they're making a lot of money. As far as writing goes. Airline Observer newsletter covering the business of airlines. Elizabeth's newsletter from Italy. Food, drink, fun. Chris Arnade walks the world. Oh yeah, I've seen that. It's kind of cool. Except it'd be more interesting if you didn't just walk around. Found New York. Quality recommendations and actionable intel. Happy Hoteling, a curation of the most special hotels. Hickman's Hinterlands. Ledger of Obscure Travels, Backwood Rambles. A.M. Hickman. Let's check this out. I don't think I should be too snobby here. On the Las Vegas shooting, Apocalypse and Innocence Lost. Is that the guy? Mortgage is $400 per month. That's pretty good. I pay 4 times that in rent. Been in this vagabond. Sure. What? Why would I subscribe to all... What? No. Recommendations? Skip. No. What is this? I just wanted to subscribe. Wheelchair travel. Open your world through accessible travel. What? I guess that's pretty useful for some people. Teaching you how to live, but we're not looking for useful. Society is obsessed with utility. The Middle Finger Project. Teaching you how to live and work from anywhere with more effing joy. Always real, occasionally spiked. Covering international living and etiquette, remote freelancing, and work. And how the hell to make enough money to buy that villa in Italy. Ash Ambridge. Salmon Hater, 15-year digital project. Central Division. As a stay focused. A weekly podcast. Your good friends. Okay, don't want a podcast. Shortlisted. Way to go. Recommendations for people who love travel by people who love travel. Fathomaway.com. Okay. 154,000. That's a lot. Arrive in your inbox on Thursdays. A respite. People behind Way to Go. Longtime editors and founders of Fathom. California Cheney. Okay. Looks cool, but pass. Brent and Michael are going places. The adventurous insights and travel tips of a gay nomad couple exploring the world. Okay. Let's see what else they say. Exploring the world. I wonder what that entails. My idiot husband. Sounds dangerous, to be honest. There's a lot of places in the world that don't take kindly to gay couples. So it could be good. But Not what I'm looking for. The Catholic Traveler. Updates from Rome. And the Vatican. Talking travel, writing, mystifying travel media. The coffee's... It's not that bad, but... Not enough water. Jillian knows best. Jill Schildhouse's Media Insights. News from Esoteric Secret Los Angeles. Okay. 8,000. Are we already down to 8,000? We were at like 150,000. I'll get this leaderboard. Worried about norms becoming a Raising Cane's. Not what I'm looking for. Postcards from the end. Political and social commentaries from across the globe. Nope. The Irish Stew. Eat, stay. Well, you know, let's give people a chance. Teaching Mein Kampf at the University of Tel Aviv. It's in Israel, right? Okay. Freaky looking. U.S. good Jews are the soccer moms. Alright, let's see what he says. I've published articles that focus on political and social. Linden. Well, I should also be looking to see if they're active at all. Yeah, this is recent. What the heck? Is that him? No, it's edited. Yeah. That can't be a real picture. His head is huge. The fuck? That is him. Circa 2025? Okay. Alright. Irish Stew. Eat, stay, and explore Ireland. Quality recommendations. Actionable intel about Los Angeles and surroundings. Actionable intel. What does that mean? Great Lakes travel deals. Found LA delivers recommendations and intel for people who earn and spend well in and around Los Angeles. That's not me. Great Lakes travel deals. Get 200 plus annual flight deals from major airports serving Michigan and Wisconsin. We include major airports in Illinois, Michigan. Okay. Understanding Rome's newsletter. Rome. Rome is the light. Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies in the north. Love Ireland. Scripter Cognitationium. Get the ultimate Ireland. More Irish stuff. Unfinished journeys. Rewriting our stories about cycling, traveling, people, and identities. Cycling. How much can you write about cycling? Escape Club. Getaways from New York City inspired by nature. Upstate travel guides. Globe Trot. News you can use from around the world. Carry on only car law. Carry on only. Car law. That's from July 23rd. Or July 19th, 2023. Shit, did I fuck? No. No, whatever, I guess I don't need to have them all loaded beforehand. Car law. Mind the moss, walking into another world. Literally. Hikes in New England's wilds. About hikes? Smashing Pumpkins revival. Wow. All those pumpkins. October 18th. Love Scotland, a free digital copy of Ultimate Scotland Travel Guide when joining. Love Scotland's website and a dedicated promotion of Scotland as a travel destinations. I would like to go to Scotland. Whoa, look at that picture. Edinburgh. Be ready for breathtaking landscapes. Heritage, world famous. Why you should visit the Hebridean paradise. Sure, why not? I'll subscribe. Skip. Cool. American Weekender. A travel newsletter for food people featuring expert recommendations from longtime food writers. The New Roman Times. On the kitchen porch. Weekly banter from my kitchen porch. Food, wine, people, places. Maine, the Mediterranean, the whole wide world. Clementina. Style, people, places, well-made things. Cruise Week, cruise industry. So there's this place, insider tips and travel guides to inspire wanderlust, and hopefully get you one step closer to booking that trip. Okay. Skiers Digest. Former fashion editor. Damn. Okay. Paris-based. I'm looking for more type of thing. Writing about stuff that isn't necessarily reviews of places. Getting Around with William O'Connor. Welcome to Getting Around, a weekly newsletter about traveling better. Weekly, huh? $7 a month. That's pretty cut rate. Most beautiful staircase. A guide to one of my favorite here. 10 hotels I'm excited for. Georgetown Mansion. New Worlder, the culinary and travel journal of James Beard. See, the problem is nobody wants to read anymore. Because how boring is that when compared to watching a live stream or this crazily well-made YouTube video or some new premium Netflix series, for example. Or you could play a video game. Or you could go outside and go for a walk. So, we're already fighting an uphill battle. And just run-of-the-mill shit isn't going to cut it. The Culinary and Travel Journal of James Beard, nominated writer. An exploration of cuisine and biodiversity in the Americas and beyond. Nomada newsletter. Jake Nomada. I remember looking at this guy last time I did this like a year ago. And it looked okay. It's kind of cool. The guy lives all over Latin America. In fact, I'll give him a subscribe. Because you never know. People could evolve into writing more literature style. Because all these people are just, they're trying to make a living probably by writing in a niche topic that people are willing to pay to receive special, like well-researched information on periodically. But I feel like if you write for a more general audience, you have a better chance at a much greater level of success. California Outdoors, ultimate gateway to your next adventure. Outdoor wise living. Dan Outdoors. $5,000 subscribers. California with my ultimate trail map. Nice little waterfall. Yeah, I think a lot of the people too who are doing cool shit are just making YouTube videos. Because it's so easy nowadays. Whereas before, all you could do was write. You couldn't just whip out your phone and make a video. But you could record yourself saying something, or you could write something down in a notepad, and then later type something up and send it to a magazine or whatever. So, the written word is not as necessary as it once was, but it's, but I still like it as an art, as a craft. It's just different from recording a podcast or making a YouTube video. I guess what I like about it the most is, from the reader's perspective, reading something is the difference that reading something versus watching and listening to something entails. Because if you just watch and listen to stuff all day, your mind just sort of turns into mush. But reading's different. You can read stuff all day and actually feel good about it. Go out, walk around, and feel like you aren't drained, but it's like you have heightened senses when you go out into the world. And your focus changes back to external things. Michi Porto. The Earful Tower. Missives from a metropolis. Italy, motherhood, and expat life. Dun, 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 dun. Sheila, American journalist in Rome, fumbling through the Foreign Service and motherhood. Procrastinating on writing. See, I'm looking for posts that are kind of like tales, that sound like they have something to relate. Not reports. Not journal entries. Named after my pioneering 1994 travel blog, Big World, we'll introduce you to fascinating people immersed in the arts and sciences and reflect on the personal challenges introduced by my new traveling companion, Parkinson's disease. Oh, Jesus. Dispatches from the road. From a writer whose work appears in the New York Times, The Guardian, Harper's, and elsewhere. Diana Spichler. Getting cheated on. Heartache. Boston. Grifter. Nudity. Living in your head. Very simple titles. But at some point I wanted more. More from my travel reading and more from myself as a travel writer. How many top 10 spas to visit and wherever stories must we consume? That's why I started Dispatches from the Road. Author of some novels. Dang. A lot of accolades. Living Danishly with Helen Russell. Author of 6 books. Danishly, How to Raise a Viking. Former editor. Turned Scandinavia correspondent. I write about what it means to live a good life around the world when not hurting many Vikings. Alright, let's see. Sweden wants to trademark his name, and honestly, I get it. Scandinavian Glow, Myth or Reality? Skål. Nordic approach to child rearing. She wasn't kidding about raising Vikings. Okay. God damn it. Did I fuck up again? Browser's so annoying. Window seat. Newsletter for people with good taste. Want to travel. Tori Simakov. Let me take a peek. (2024) featured publication. Of course, look how hot she is. Love the name, obsessed with the niche. Always on planes. Will gladly take any tips on how to pack better. I wonder if there's a blog about a life of petty crime. I bet that would be interesting. Love to visit Italy. Discover Italy, where every moment is a masterpiece. Joni Sweet's press opportunities and media insights. Discover what Joni's working on. The sources and product suggestions. Now, you shouldn't have to break the law to have something to write about. That shouldn't be necessary. I shouldn't think like that. Quality recommendations and actionable intel about San Francisco and surrounds. More actionable intel. Parish chic code. Latrice Dreline. The Unplugged Traveler, putting the serendipity back in travel. Okay. Serendipity. Serendipity. What's this thing about anyway? Why are traveling without the internet? Luddite? Unplugged Traveler. Unplugged Traveler is a newsletter about traveling without the internet. Each month I go to a place in Europe I've never been before, travel around entirely offline. Stories of my adventures. What do you mean by without the internet? You know, the thing in your pocket is an endless source of information, entertainment, but also distraction, disconnection, anxiety. You know what? Sold. I'm into it. Just Good Things, a newsletter sharing everything that cultivates joy and makes life good. No. W Report. 2 professional culture writers based in Berlin join forces to share their favorite secret places. Gisli. Gisela. Gisela. Gisela Williams. So who's this written by? Oh yeah, I remember these guys. Damn, look at these women. A long life of the finest. Madonna del Piatto. Welcome to my kitchen in Rome, where I write about Italian food. Modern Hiker newsletter, outdoor news and musings. Global Jigsaw. Controversial newsletter for expats and no bands. Controversial? Why is it controversial? Mexico Move Blueprint. Seriously no about section. Gate access. Harmony. Experts' insights on travel updates that shape your rights as a consumer. Letters from Turkey Town. What happens after the worst happens? After the death of our daughter, we left home to travel the U.S. I write about love, loss, and hope from the road. Turkey Town. Look at those chompers. $30. Oh, okay. Support independent writing. No. The Journal by Jessica. What good is that going to do me? A bi-monthly newsletter with travel insider intel from Jessica Nabongo. First black woman to have traveled to every country in the world. No. No way you can. There's no way you can claim that. I suppose it could be true, but how would you know? A&I Lifestyle. Curated itineraries and vacant properties across rural Japan. Adventure Unpacked. Jill Homer. If life is absurd, there's nothing left to do but embrace the adventure of it all. I write essays about outdoor adventures, midlife, mental health, existential dread, and the unquenchable thirst for meaning, and learning to love the little joys. Here she is, freezing to death, like Jack Nicholson in The Shining. Le Bulletin. As a savvy francophile, you'll adore Le Bulletin, newsletter, a luscious, deep, and rich immersive weekend reading experience. More than just parks. We're the Petsons brothers, and our goal here is simple: to share the beauty of our national parks and public lands in an effort to... That was them getting ripped apart by Bigfoot. To get people to see the true value in land conservation. We write about all things public lands, especially national parks. Alright, maybe. There they are. Okay. November 20th. Is that a AI generated frog reading a newspaper? News roundup. You know, there's a lot that goes on in national parks that people don't know about. That they should know about, but they don't. Because the authorities wouldn't know what to tell them. Does that scare you? Because it should. About. We care about our public lands, and we're hell-bent on making sure others do too. And it's guys like these. I think there's nothing to worry about out there except what they learned about in biology class that end up missing without a trace. Having said that, maybe they know all about what I'm talking about. Letters from a Stranger, a digital journal by writer, filmmaker, and host Neka Julia. The Uper Report. More than just parks. You know what? I'm going to subscribe because the Substack feed is so sparse already because people don't post blog posts very often. Somebody could post 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 X posts in a day. Well, these people only post one blog like every like one a week or something. So, but they've basically turned their mobile app into another Twitter. So you can scroll through Substack mobile, same as you would Twitter, and just see a bunch of BS posts, short form comments on things and images and links to stuff. However, they still have the inbox here, which is what you look at for new blog posts from the publications you follow. And that's the thing that doesn't fill up very fast. Letters from a Stranger, a digital journal by writer, filmmaker, and host. Host of what? Pretty lady. Chat shit. Take photos. Write a bit. Drink a bit. Drink a bit. They're cracking. Zero. She does not post very often. The Upper report. Upper Peninsula Fall Color Report. Snow total updates. Well, this is kind of cool. See, this is the type of niche stuff that people subscribe to. But again, you gotta have somebody whose writing is going to be strong enough to break through to the general population and get them to say, what is this Substack app? I've never seen it before. I'm not some person who's trying to be a writer. I'm just a normal person living his life. But somebody recommended I read this, and even though I don't usually ever read, I did read it a little bit. I started reading it, and it held my attention, and I liked it. I read the entire thing and I liked it. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought I could read something? I think I'll subscribe. Right? That's the type of writers that this platform needs. Ones that can organically grow it with people that wouldn't have found the platform otherwise, because they're like interested in some industry. That's where the potential lies. This app. That's where this app's potential lies. But a lot of good bloggers are probably already situated on their own websites. Like on WordPress. I just never heard of them. Through whatever channels one might discover them in. But if I had a following somewhere, I'd probably move them to Substack. Maybe. I don't know. It's probably just whatever makes the most financial sense. But I think Substack's pretty cool about not censoring people. Which would be another consideration for a lot of people. Adventures with Sarah's Substack. I mean, writers are particularly sensitive to free speech. Because they're very mindful of what they say. Adventures with Sarah's Substack, a place for Sarah and occasionally her team, colleagues and friends to tell stories, share recipes, ramble through various things. The Wandering Wanderer. Emily, the Wandering Wanderer. Wandering Wanderer. Play on words. Digital postcards. Sharing experiences of exploring the globe. Wild adventures. Wild adventures. Fascinating people. And random thoughts. I can't promise that these posts will always be uplifting, humorous, or even interesting. I can guarantee they will contain typos. Okay. Let's see what you look like, Emily. I can't zoom in any further. Wow. Taj Mahal sure is spectacular. It's kind of crazy how the towers on the side jut out at an angle. Seems like leaning towers. Share stories from my travels about the people I met, the experiences I have, and even some of the food I tried. Let's be honest. Probably a lot of content about the food you try. My goal from day one has been to share uplifting and sometimes funny stories with the hope that it will inspire the reader to follow their own journey of joy, whatever that may be. Yusuf and the bus. It has been too long. Forget what you think you know. A delightful surprise. Nicola and neckties. The golden coffee grinder. Paywalled. Chemtrails. Oh, chemtrails. Okay. How to be a dog. How is that in the travel section? I'm writing about dogs, travel, and life, and taking pictures along the way. Andrew Knapp. Oh yeah. I remember this guy. This is Nietzsche. Not a lot of blogs out there about how to be a dog. There he is with his dogs. Looks a little sad. Up here, around the eyes. A little bit sad. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he needs some human friends. Well, Thai Island Quest. For the love of Thailand's islands and coastal areas. Yes, all of them. I mean, I like the title, Thai Island Quest. Formerly Thai Island Times. Independent reader-supported newsletter. Online resource sharing the beauty, challenges, and distinctive identities of Thailand's islands and coastal areas. A labor of love for the islands. Can't be much going on out there on those islands. Maybe there is. A lot of people in the world today. It's getting crowded out there. Introducing the Thai Island and Coastal Directory. Meet your host. This guy really just go around the Thai Islands all day? The dude with the boats, like... Thank God this guy has some money. Virtually transports you to Thai islands and coastal areas, often focusing on smaller and lesser known islands and beaches. That's Thailand? Those don't look like tropical trees. I'm not going to Thailand. Hello, Stranger. A newsletter dedicated telling real Midwest adventure stories. Exploring the Midwest. Well, you said adventure. Maddie Marquardt. Here we are tackling topics like body image in the outdoor industry. Why would I care about that? That's not interesting to me. Body image in the outdoor industry? Body image? What does that even mean? Like what type of models they get at REI? Hyperreality. Insightful essays, philosophical reflections, and critical examinations of culture and aesthetics. Our writings explore the intersections of design, art, literature, cinema, travel, style, and more. Hyperreality. It's a cool name. Hyperreality. Insightful essays. No, let me see. Wealth. Oh. Paris. You know what happened in Paris not long ago? They cut all the rich people's heads off. Sir Karen Vanseri with Samantha Childress. Personal stories and incisive commentary on travel, culture, and expat life, because understanding breeds compassion. Well, I don't want any compassion. Found Miami. Quality recommendations and actionable intel about Miami and surrounds from the team that started Eater and Curbed. Another earn and spend publication. Earn and spend. You earn and spend. France with Vero newsletter. God, what a nightmare. If that's your life. And you know what? I need a newsletter so I can spend better after I've earned. thoughtful reviews, info, and musings about a journalist who has been writing about his adventures riding coasters, battling Caribbean pirates. Okay. Theme parks. All right. It's a dangerous way to make a living. Riding theme park rides. Guys, but he's put some hours into Roller Coaster Tycoon. The existential travel agency. People who love to get away, travel more for vibes than for selfies. This is for you. Tips, itineraries, designy vacation rentals, and beautiful destinations. Journeys within and beyond. From global policy to personal transformation, because true change begins with you. God. Another self-help writer in the travel section. Gina's Journal. Hard-hitting hotel reviews, travel tips, and destination guides by Gina Jackson, a London-based author and travel journalist. Beaten Paths. The Journey to the Great American Novel, now on Substack. The Journey to the Great American Novel, now on Substack. From Beaten Paths, essays, articles, stories, poetry, and more written across all 50 states and beyond, based on Aiden's adventures hitchhiking and living in a converted school bus. Not yet, let me read first. Subscribe to get full access to the newsletter archive to get at least not much in the About section. April 2024. A band of friends set off to northern Vermont on a quest to see the total solar eclipse. A collection of poems comes from that. I have something to say to all these people. I have something to say. No man thinks more highly than I do of the patriotism, as well as abilities of the very worthy gentlemen who have just addressed the House. But different men often see the same subject in different lights, and therefore I hope that it will not be thought disrespectful to those gentlemen if entertaining as I do opinions of a character very opposite to theirs. I shall speak forth my sentiments freely and without reserve.
This is no time for ceremony. The question before the House is one of awful moment to this country. For my own part, I consider it as nothing less than a question of freedom or slavery, and in proportion to the magnitude of the subject, ought to be the freedom of the debate. It is only in this way that we can hope to arrive at truth and fulfill the great responsibility which we hold to God and our country. Should I keep back my opinions at such a time, through fear of giving offense, I should consider myself as guilty of treason towards my country, and of an act of disloyalty towards the majesty of heaven, which I revere above all earthly kings. Mr. President, it is natural to man to indulge in the illusions of hope. We apt to shut our eyes against a painful truth, and listen to the song of the siren, till she transforms us into beasts. Is this the part of wise men engaged in a great and arduous struggle for liberty? Are we disposed to be of the number of those who, having eyes, see not, and having ears, hear not, the things which so nearly concern their temporal salvation? For my part, whatever anguish of spirit it may cost, I am willing to know the whole truth, to know the worst, and to provide for it. I have but one lamp by which my feet are guided, and that is the lamp of experience. I read about that yesterday. I know of no way of judging of the future but by the past, and judging by the past, I wish to know what there has been in the conduct of the British ministry for the last 10 years to justify those hopes with which gentlemen have been pleased to solace themselves, and the House. Is it that insidious smile with which our petition has been lately received? Trust it not, sir. It will prove a snare to your feet. Suffer not yourselves to be betrayed with a kiss. Ask yourselves how this gracious reception of our petition comports with these warlike preparations, which cover our waters and darken our land. Are fleets and armies necessary to work of love and reconciliation? Have we shown ourselves so unwilling to be reconciled that force must be called in to win back our love? Let us not deceive ourselves, sir. These are the implements of war and subjugation, the last arguments to which kings resort. I ask, gentlemen, sir, what means this martial array, if its purpose be not to force us to submission? Can gentlemen assign any other possible motives for it? Has Great Britain any enemy in this quarter of the world to call for all this accumulation of navies and armies? No, sir, she has none. They are meant for us. They can be meant for no other. They are sent over to bind and rivet upon us those chains which the British ministry have been so long forging. And what have we to oppose to them? Shall we try argument? Sir, we have been trying that for the last 10 years. Have we anything new to offer on the subject? Nothing. We have held the subject up in every light of which it is capable, but it has been all in vain. Shall we resort to entreaty and humble supplication? What terms shall we find which have not already been exhausted? Let us not, I beseech you, sir, deceive ourselves longer. Sir, we have done everything that could be done to avert the storm which is now coming on. We have petitioned, we have remonstrated, we have supplicated, we have prostrated ourselves before the throne, and have implored its interposition to arrest the tyrannical hands of the ministry and parliament. Our petitions have been slighted. Our remonstrances have produced additional violence and insult. Our supplications have been disregarded, and we have been spurned with contempt from the foot of the throne. In vain, after these things, may we indulge the fond hope of peace and reconciliation. There is no longer any room for hope. If we wish to be free, if we mean to preserve inviolate those inestimable privileges for which we have been so long contending, if we mean not basely to abandon the noble struggle in which we have been so long engaged, and which we have pledged ourselves never to abandon until the glorious object of our contest shall be obtained. We must fight. I repeat it, sir. We must fight. An appeal to arms and to the God of hosts is all that is left us. They tell us, sir, that we are weak, unable to cope with so formidable an adversary. But when shall we be stronger? Will it be the next week or the next year? Will it be when we are totally disarmed, and when a British guard shall be stationed in every house? Shall we gather strength by irresolution and inaction? Shall we acquire the means of effectual resistance by lying supinely on our backs and hugging the delusive phantom of hope until our enemies shall have bound us hand and foot? Sir, we are not weak, if we make a proper use of the means which the God of nature hath placed in our power. 3 millions of people armed in the holy cause of liberty, and in such a country as that which we possess, are invincible by any force which our enemy can send against us. Besides, sir, we shall not fight our battles alone. There is a just God who presides over the destinies of nations, and who will raise up friends to fight our battle for us. The battle, sir, is not to the strong alone. It is to the vigilant, the active, the brave. Besides, sir, we have no election, if we were base enough to desire it. It is now too late to retire from the contest. There is no retreat but in submission and slavery. Our chains are forged. Their clanking may be heard on the plains of Boston. The war is inevitable, and let it come. I repeat it, sir, let it come. It is in vain, sir, to extenuate the matter. Gentlemen may cry, peace, peace, but there is no peace. The war is actually begun. The next gale that sweeps from the north will bring to our ears the clash of resounding arms. Our brethren are already in the field. Why stand we here idle? What is it that gentlemen wish? What would they have, if life so dear, or peace so sweet, as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty, or give me death. And the reason I wanted to read that was because it seems to me like people are too afraid to take chances anymore. Take chances with their writing, take chances creatively, because everyone's so quick to turn into a hate mob over someone about anything. So, I would say, is life so dear or peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Is your comfort of not being ridiculed online or, banned from some platform worth that much to you, that you're not willing to do or say anything disruptive? Sometimes being disruptive is a good thing. Beaten paths. That's right, I want to look at beaten paths. Band, Solar Eclipse, Aiden Fitzsimmons. Neighbors are trying to move a dead body around. Pacific Pull-Off. Is this him? Is this the man? Is this the man in his converted school? It's a nice looking school bus. Gotta give him that. Wooden interior, although is that paneling? Looks like wood paneling. Probably the best you could come up with. It's not gonna be like a freaking interior of a wooden yacht. But it looks like it. Looks like it would be. It's a nice bus, man. I like it. Probably more space than you need. Not very mobile. But look at he's got a house on the cliffs of Oregon or something, California. Where is he? Muir Beach. Yeah. I will subscribe. Congratulations. For free. Not gonna pay. Katie Lockhart. Read about my current assignments. Calls for pitches in top-tier publications in Media Insider. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death. The story of a British war correspondent who moved to the Canadian wilderness and set up a bear viewing lodge, and what happened next, by Julius Strauss. Oh yeah, I remember looking at this one. Bear sitting lounge. This guy had like a documentary made about him on the Grizzly Bear Behavioralist. Am I already subscribed to him? What are these guys doing? Just moving stuff around. Wilderness Lodge specializes in viewing grizzly bears. Bought on a bush plain. Learned how to track animals, move around grizzlies on foot. Oh yeah, I'm following him. I never keep track. I just hate when these people start getting all political. Like I care what they think about Trump, you know. And they start posting insane articles about talking points. Adventurous travels of life in the Canadian wilderness. Travails, not travels. Travails. Millennial Bear, November 3rd. It was one of those classic millennial Gen X moments. Dang, you gotta be a real adrenaline junkie to do this, huh? Look at him. He smells food. Here comes the raven. No, he's not getting distracted. He's longtime guides, who's nevertheless still in her 20s, was leading a walk down a stretch of riverbank. They had stopped to watch a grizzly bear fishing on the far bank. These guys better have something more than just bear mace. And if they're Canadian, probably not. Problem is, this guy gets killed by a bear. He's not going to be able to write an article about it. Eagle on the road. Stories from the road. Although if he gets maimed by one, he could. I'm already following him. Good decision. Eagle on the road. Stories from the road, book fragments, and irreverent musings on life choices. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the mundane. Ooh. Damn, look at those dreads. She shaved her head? It's probably felt like a relief. 10 days in no man's land. on Peruvian customs agents, Instagram, and adventure. Okay. Yeah, this is what I'm into. She's writing is that a dia? Probably mentions what she rides in her about section. A motorcycle hobo and rider by calling. How am I here to tell you that the world is big, people are good, and that you too can have an adventure of your own design and on your own terms? Lived on the road since 2013, self-confessed nerd, perpetually fascinated by the ways of the world, and obsessed. You know what? I love her. Although she shouldn't have shaved her head. But I guess hair grows back. It's not a big deal. Reflections on places, adventures, and people. Pilot notes. Making progress. Not even 1/5 through travel. But it's okay. If I get through travel, culture, and literature, I think I'll be happy with that. I don't need to do all the other categories that I picked out. Pilot notes. Words and images about once a week. My reflections on places, adventures, and people I've met over time. Places you might want to explore. I've been a pilot for many years. Skier. Santa Monica. Santa Hobo Stabuca. Reflections. Reflections on places, adventures, and people, words, and images. $5 a month. Why is there a big red? Why is there a big red light? A big red circle there? I'm still writing. My 1955 Chevrolet broke down. Okay. So what? Ah, fuck. Alright, back down to 100. Xena and the Waves. From oh, damn. From 0 nautical sailing miles to circumnavigating the globe. How an invention. Let's take a look. Something about her. Oh, she's sailing a catamaran? To 2025 to 2026 world arc. I was encouraged to start the Substack as a base and a record for all of my words, thoughts, and discoveries, from the minutiae to the enormous, as I take on this, some would say, ludicrous, others would say extraordinary adventure. I'm in. Carry on. Inclusive travel inspiration. Oh, man. LGBTQ plus and neurodivergent. Well, I like my neurons to remain undivergent. Enjoy California. Serial expat, California lover, journalist et detentricie de la green card. That's not even in English. Mvake, Martha's Vineyard. Martha's Vineyard. Never gonna go there. French Crossroads, travel, culture, and politics in France. Give me something better, more interesting. A year in Oaxaca, a twice weekly newsletter about the expat experience and life in Mexico, as told by an award-winning food and travel writer who, with his wife, left New York City for the hills and valleys of Oaxaca. With his wife. If it said left his wife for the hills of Oaxaca, I would have been more interested, but he's with his wife. Alright, well. Let me know when you leave the hills of Oaxaca. Spurn Piker's Journal. Writing, photography, and shenanigans from Irv Oslin, journalist, backroads wanderer, and canoe bum. Canoe bum? God, are we really that? Down bad as a society that people are living in canoes now. Never miss an update. Backup hard drive for your brain. Journaling, a backup hard drive for your brain. Yeah. Yeah, it is, I guess. That's great. Maybe you're right. Maybe that is a good analogy. I like journaling. But do I want to read a blog post about it? No. No, I don't. Maybe I kind of do, but I wish I didn't. Love to visit France. Join thousands of other lovers of France by subscribing to our Love to Visit France newsletter. A must read. God damn it, how does these fly get in here? Leave the door open. Okay. Continuing. Writing, photography, and shenanigans from Irv Osden. Journalist, backroads wanderer, canoe bum. At a crossroads in my life where I'm exploring different genres as opposed to avenues. And whatever I happen to find. Yes. Love to visit France. The glimmer. One story at a time. Well, at least she's writing stories. You know what? Maybe I should be reading Hemingway and Thompson in the morning. Instead of the great ideas. I've been reading that stuff on my own, which has been cool. But something about doing it for a stream that's being recorded and that you can listen back to later, and speaking it aloud first thing in the morning. I like the philosophical ideas. Mortimer Adler. And I'll probably just keep doing that. But if I could also make time for Hunter S. Thompson mainly is who I want to read through. And have myself recorded reading. I bet you would have been a really good blogger. If he was inclined to even try being one. I feel like if you have a blog and if you're not too stingy about what you publish, someone like Thompson, he probably wrote more than he or could have wrote more than he ever published. But you know, he was sending stuff into magazines, and he was publishing books. And if you're doing that, you're definitely editing it a lot, and you're working on it for weeks or months at a time. With a blog, you could post every day. It might not be very good, but in the aggregate, you'd probably have more good writing published just because you are publishing so much more often. And you don't have to, you can like highlight certain pieces on your main page and be like, these were good articles. These were good written pieces that you should read. You should prioritize your reading of. But you can also see what I'm up to real time if you're interested with my daily posts. People, if it costs them nothing or $8 a month, the more content they get, the happier they're going to be. They won't care if it's not all primo stuff. A. Gatlinburg Now publication. Everything we've come to love about Gatlinburg and the Smoky Mountains. Guru Nandini. Hot takes on relationships and restaurants, fashion and friendship, love and life from New York's favorite matchmaker and advice giver. I've always loved love. It's kind of funny. I need a fly swatter. It's a shame how little traffic this website gets. Nobody cares about blogs and newsletters. About 20% through. Right on Points. Right on Points is a monthly newsletter covering important news. Changes, events, and offers in India's credit card points, frequent flyer programs, and hotel loyalty programs. India? 150, I bet that's rupees. Indian rupees per month. Alright, this fly is dead. Sick of hearing it buzzing its wings around.
Hopefully I dealt it a mortal wound. Buenos Aires portal. We are Insider Buenos Aires intel for tourists, digital nomads, and expats, covering restaurants, bars, and culture, plus a weekly newsletter on what to do each weekend in Buenos Aires. David Watts Barton abroad. Welcome to my world. I travel full-time now, playing my music, making friends, and documenting my journey in sight, sound, and text. My travels follow my passions, friendship, new places, and ideas, and music, mine and others. Come along. Oh, welcome to my world. I travel full time now, playing my music. Yes, yes. Oh, damn. Back where I started. Wow. A lot of mopeds. It's interesting how seems like there's like conscious thought isn't a huge factor. Oh, the fly is back. Can't fucking kill it. Die, damn you. What's I saying? Conscious thought is not a huge factor in the forces that cause people to congregate in big cities and live like this with each other. Because why would you want to live like that? If you thought about it. Stay focused. Mission accomplished. Book of Mormon. Spain to London, London to New York, and now New York to Sacramento. And as soon as I get to Sacramento, I'll leave once again on a 12-hour road trip to the high desert. Good for you. Good for you, spending your money on travel. I'd be more interested to read about somebody who's broke traveling from one town to the next town over. Airport Architecture and the Architecture of Travel from Edward Russell. Straphanger from Terrace Gresco. Bulletins from a future beyond the automobile. The destination is now. World traveling
octogenarian leans into life wherever he is. Overthinking it. Essays, guides, clickables, viewables, musings, and more from the overthinking mind. Bitchin'. All the kitchen banter you never knew you cared about. How can I care about something that I haven't even perceived? Media musings with Cassandra Brooklyn. How and what to pitch me and other freelance writers. Nomadico. Tips for the working traveler. The Carry-On, a weekly travel newsletter with guides, expert recommendations, and industry insights. Similar title to the one we saw earlier. Is this fly just regenerating himself? It's regeneration ability. Regenerate that. One great trip to Corisca and Sardinia. While prepping to open his newest restaurant, Bastia, chef partner Tyler Atkin sought inspiration on the French and Italian islands. The Carry-On is a weekly newsletter about travel, including guides, expert recommendations, and industry insights. Pain. Okay. Notes from wherever we are. Writings on the intersection between the seen and unseen, the longed for and the lost, the delicious and the delights. The ecstatic wanderer, driving a van through the betwixt and between. Exploring what it means to go home. Through the betwixt and between. The subtle art of looking into a man's eyes. Adventures in eye gazing. Eye trespassing? There she is. Older than I expected. But hey, still willing to live in a van and write about doing so. I respect it. The Ecstatic Wanderer Substack. My name is April. Photographer. I live in a van down by the river. Ooh, look at that van. That's one nice van. Damn. Just don't leave the stove on or you'll burn your foot on it while you're sleeping. Besides that, what is that? Mahogany? Some biodegradable paper towels? Recycled paper? The Ecstatic Wanderer. You know what? You have a very nice van. The view from Scopa Towers. This Substack is for Disney fans who are looking for insight, news, advice, and some interesting stories in my Disney vault. Scopa Towers. Is that what you call Imagineer? This is about Disney? I mean, Disney fan, blogger, podcaster, Run Disney participant. Looking a little flabby there. Any theme park corn dogs. The Relisher, where the world's top chefs reveal their favorite spots in their home cities. The Adventure Podcast, an ongoing series of long-form conversations with individuals at the forefront of exploration and adventure, in which filmmaker Matt Pycroft speaks to the most knowledgeable, accomplished, and respected voices in the field. Okay. Adventure. An ongoing series of long-form conversations at the forefront of exploration. There are places that have not been explored, right? On Earth. Lots of places. Caves, ocean trenches, jungles, Amazon jungle, rainforest, certain deserts and mountain ranges, perhaps. An ongoing series of long-form conversations with pioneers of exploration. Yeah, I guess if I've thought about it for more than 10 seconds, I should just follow it. It's not like it cost me anything. What else? This is taking forever. Sailing Impossible. The authors of Drive, Nacho Drive, and their two sweetly kids set off abroad. Aboard an expedition sailboat into the vast Pacific Ocean in continued pursuit of an intentional life. Sounds a little self-helpy. Why does it have to be in pursuit of an intentional life? Why can't it just be about an unintentional life? That almost sounds more interesting to me. Unintentional? Never miss an update. Again, how are they on the leaderboard? And they don't even have an about section. It's 118. God damn it! They need a better way to view the leaderboard. Oh, it doesn't tell me, that doesn't give me the splash screen again. Alright. Reader 2? How about 1? How about... get rid of that. How about... Impossible. Substack.com. What if we just get rid of all that stuff? Okay. Living with Stephanie Sinclair. Home. Ugh. I feel like someone's sucking the life force out of my soul. Ugh. Through my eyeballs via my webcam. Who's watching me? Who's watching me but not chatting? Show yourself. Stop being weird. You're the weird one. Living with Stephanie Sinclair, home. Unfiltered, an American who bought a home in Sinclair, sharing stories, insights, recipes, and favorite things. And boy, do I have stories for days. Well, I don't know if I want to follow someone who makes a typo, blatant typo in there. Over 1,000? Apples and elderflower. Food recipes and stories from Tasmania's far south. To Parcero. CO. Bow-tied Columbia. I'm a 29-year-old from Santa Marta, Colombiaco. The fuck is Colombiaco? Working with ports, airports, hotels, and security. Showcase Colombia's top companies and talents to a global audience. Make Colombia great again. Again. That is an AI image. This man is not real. 29 years old. You're saying that's you? At 29? Nah. Yeah, no, this man is not 29. And he probably doesn't even exist. Out of the Wild with Ken Iguanas. Author of travel memoirs, Walden on Wheels, and Trespassing Across America. Also curmudgeonly movie reviewer, American, quote, right to roam advocate. Right to roam, huh? Ken of the Wild. A Broad. We're 12-step recovery. Alright, let's check it out. Anti-colonialism. Anti-colonialism. Colonialism. What, like the British Empire? When's the last time they colonized anything? I wonder if she's anti-Mars colony. No! Stay on the Earth! Paradise of Exiles. Stay where you are! Stay where you are on the rock! It's funny because that's a Russell Brand bit where he was talking about being pro-immigration. Paradise of Exiles. Insider Italy. Sharing over 30 years of Italy. No half measures. What happens when you pack up your life? You see, I'm tired of people acting like the British Empire was some evil entity in the world. I won't stand for it. These fools. I won't suffer these fools any longer. Who are products of the British Empires. Everything they think is good in life is a product of the British Empire's hard work. But they're gonna act like they're somehow morally superior to all the extremely high moral men that made it happen. The British Empire were like the light of the world. and friends to the people everywhere they went. That's why we live in the world we live in today. At least that's my opinion. But it's because I probably hold that opinion because I've spent the last year studying Emerson, who was a huge fan of England. But these people acting like savages with no sense of the benefits of restraint or attempting to understand other people or to treat other people humanely. Or somehow hurt by the British Empire introducing ideas about being better than an animal to people around the world was somehow a bad thing. I won't stand for it. Abroad, where 12-step recovery, travel, faith, food, anti-colonial, paradise of exiles, insider Italy, sharing over 30 years of Italy. No half measures. What happens when you pack up, or you know what, I will stand for it, because I don't fucking care. I don't care about arguing with people on the internet. Exteroception. Every word I've ever willed. Every wave I've ever drowned. Every wish I've ever spilled. Every wound I've ever wound. I'm intrigued. Nobody dies except for you. Okay. Haunt me. Haunt me. Do it again. Ketamine is the drug of the moment. The moment is decadent and depraved. Well, he said decadent and depraved. Oh, dreadful and depraved. I don't even know what this is. Tokyo Adrift. Lose yourself to find yourself. without maps. I think I remember this guy. Circling the globe. I've fed stray dogs in Cairo. Yeah, he sounds kind of cool. Maybe later. Exteroception. No. I don't have time. I don't have time to try to decipher what you're trying to say. Eat in Everywhere. A newsletter for food first travelers. Around the world in 80 scrapes. We need to move faster here. Travel, food, and politics intersect with the occasional snafu of personal shame. Road to Elsewhere. Peter Moore. All those who wander are lost. They're on the road to elsewhere. Everlands, Suctas, Media Substack, Dan Hoyles, Go There to Know There. Reportage from my travels and stories from journalism. Go There to Know. Oh, yeah. Boat Life with Nick and Teresa. The Road We Trod. Letters from Japan. The ABC Gimmick. The Why Matters. A weekly update. On what it takes to bike across all 7 continents. First Class Jerk. Cherry Press. Catherine Sohn. Travels to distant cities. Well traveled with Luna Zorro. Aspiring story. Travels to different. Travel writing. Travel to distant. It just says traveler writing. $6 a month. Okay. San Francisco, California, 1985. Death by Literary Journal. Is this the man? Blake? Is that a picture of him from 1985? Maybe? John S. Hall. Okay, that's a different person. Young writers are often advised to submit their work to literary journals and small magazines. This was the era of Ray Carver, Richard Ford, Tobias Wolff, the Bartholomew brothers. The little magazines, as they were called, were how those guys found each other and got their early stories published in the 1970s. The literary journal route was the way undiscovered writers could be discovered, and so I looked into it. It was 1985. I was living in San Francisco. I like the simplicity of this. Portland, Oregon, Los Angeles, Edmonton, Canada. Kathleen Hanna. Who's this? Saw the term Riot Girl. It was 1991. Taking a break from my final read-through of my book, Girl. In the coffee shop of Powell's Books, Portland, where I started sending it out to agents. Rhonda Carmen. Scotland's music, landscape, and I mean, I like Scotland. Expat Golden Girl Life, Field Notes with Megan J. Ward. But what does it mean to live life off the beaten track, feel the edges of our existence? Expand our creativity in a world. Encourages us to play it safe, fit in, and color in the lines. Well, that's what I was talking about earlier. Show me your face. Megan J. Ward is an outdoor travel and adventure writer based in Banff, Canada. Fellow of the Royal Canadian Geographical Society. Geologist. Well, I guess geography and geology are two different things. Fellow of the Royal Canadian Geographical Society. Geographer. Megan has written several books, as well as published content. North America's top outdoor fitness and adventure publication. Lights to Guide Me Home. A Journey Off the Beaten Track. Book details. Journeyed across the country for a summer job in the Canadian Rockies. As an inexperienced hiker from the suburbs of the nation's capital, she knew she was in for an adventure, but what she didn't know was that her move to the mountains would result in a 90-degree turn towards a life she never expected. In the Rockies, Megan fell in love with the wilderness, the high elevations, and a man whose way of life expanded her horizons. As that summer drew to a close, she took her first of many courageous steps off the beaten path to create a life of her choosing, one that brought her a sense of purpose and meaning and a new set of challenges. The world is fucking cool. Notes to inspire your curiosity and joy. Jacqueline Keto. Ciao Bella. You love Italy, we love Italy. This is Italy. This ugly, beautiful city. Mike Thelen plus Food Cities. Moving through. Later in life. Runner exploring midlife. Long-term marriage and partnership. Partnering adult children, and how to keep moving forward. Never a normal day. A Lori day. Unorthodox travel perspectives on life, creativity. What are we doing in the middle of this fucking desert? EBC.doc. writing about my time on and occasionally offline. You know, something that should be reported on that isn't really thought or talked about too much, it would seem, is just the way that content consumption is changing our society. Well, changing individuals, and as a result, society. Because it's very interesting to me to watch things like live streaming and short form media, doom scrolling apps, and the content therein receive so much consistent attention from so many people. I think it's bad. I think it's unhealthy for people's minds. It's been more destructive than anything ever before. And video games, too, is another thing. Video games that are like never ending, like MMOs and stuff. Just sort of like replacements for your actual life. Simulations. Extremely destructive forces, if you think about it. Probably should be regulated. But at the same time, I'm not big on regulation. I think if there was going to be a force that counteracted this kind of thing, like a good force, that was probably regulated out of existence. But that would be an interesting niche topic. I guess it would be psychology. And I think psychology used to be a category on Substack, but I didn't notice it this time. Oh, Jesus. I don't want to hear about Russia's nuke testing. Just launch it. Just launch the nukes, you pussies. Do it. these kids doing? Trying to find a spot to make out. Yeah, psychology doesn't seem to be a thing anymore. Health, politics. God. Shoot me. Design, parenting, international, crypto, history, humor. Alright, let's continue. We gotta at least get through travel. EBC.doc. I'm writing about my time, and occasionally offline. It's like if TikTok was a blog. Mexico life. Kid with the orange hair and the bright green. It's funny how redheads instinctively choose to wear green. What is pluckery? What pluckery is this? A deep dive every Sunday, often into a place I've explored, in a multitude of short subjects. But yeah, the destruction of people's minds via audio-video content, massively distributed. But it's not just that. It's the psychic vortex created by a live stream. Whatever you want to call it. The allure of witnessing and participating in an event, really, with thousands of other people every day from the comfort of your home or wherever you are. It's like going to the Roman Colosseum every day, all the time. The Colosseum it wasn't necessarily what was happening there, but the fact that everybody else was watching it, that fact alone makes it more interesting to you. And seeing everybody else's reaction to it real time. That's what a live stream is. Something about that is very alluring. And we found a way to make it happen all the time. So you have these huge streamers like Dr. Disrespect, Kai Cenat, Asmongold, Hassan Piker. I Show Speed. All the OTK streamers. Guys on Kick. XQC. I don't think they're bad people. Well, some of them are. But probably. What do I know? They're just the hosts of recurring events that happen on the internet. And it's the events that people are really drawn to. It's an event. It's exciting because it's an event that thousands of people are attending. Problem is, people hosting the event are very talented at holding your attention. And so, before you know it, you spent hours focusing on a live stream that you got nothing out of, and it's going to happen again tomorrow. So you better be there. And what does this do to people? Well, it satiates their desire for excitement. It satisfies their desire for excitement, you might say. The desire to feel like they're a part of something. But are they really? And did the event teach them anything? Did it help them in any way, as an experience might? No. So you shouldn't replace living with content. Unless it's written content on a blog. Because then at least you're using your imagination. It's good for your brain. You use your imagination, and it's taking place in your mind, but you're also working to create the environment and the situation in your brain via reading. And something about that is different from force feeding yourself audio visual stimulus. People used to respect each other's dignity more. The dignity that they had as individuals leading a unique life. And the capacity that they might have to experience things in a genuine, worthwhile way. But now, if you aren't somebody with a bunch of followers on social media, you might as well be a piece of garbage. What could you possibly have to say that is worth my attention? Right? All the people I give my attention to have over 1 million followers. So nobody feels the influencers are hogging everybody's respect and admiration and attention. Whereas it used to be spread out a lot more. Among small groups of friends, neighbors, and the like. People don't give you the benefit of the doubt anymore as an individual when they meet you in person even. They want to have your profile recommended to them by an app. And then when they look at your profile, they want to see that you have a bunch of followers and that you're good at creating content. Some sort of, photos or videos. Then, and only then, are you somebody of value in today's society, where everyone is constantly focused on social media. At least that's the main behavioral and psychological change that I've seen. It's just, and I've always been a passive observer of people. I was never Mr. Popular. But I've always watched how people behave because I care about people. I want them to have healthy psychological tendencies and not all just be devastated by the accidental, repercussions of advancements in technology. Anyway, I just think that people need to be conscious of how their apps and their devices affect human society. I think the introduction of the iPhone was the biggest event in human history for the past 2,000 years. Just in terms of how it affected everybody's day-to-day life. Never a normal day. Writing about my time on and occasionally offline. It's like if a TikTok was a blog. But, it's I don't mean to sound too depressing. This could just be a rough spot in human history. The human race isn't progressive in time. Something Emerson said. Huge leaps in technology could set us back a lot in terms of psychological health. Just to state it very simply. I have a lot of faith in the spark of life that everybody has inside of them and its ability to survive. So we can always be rekindled. I just don't like to see everybody looking dead inside. A deep dive every Sunday, often into a place I've explored, and a multitude of short subjects on Wednesday. Forays into the Injay Pine Barrens, forgotten historical sites, interesting places around the world, and short stories. Or maybe I'm just out of touch. Maybe I'm the one that spends all his time on social media. That could be true. Or maybe it's just my particular society. Maybe if I went to a different place in the world, things would look different. That could also be the case. Maybe I'm totally off in my analysis. But I don't think so. People were different before the internet and cell phones and social media. They were more local. And more people felt like influencers before being an influencer was a thing. Because they would influence each other. People knew their neighbors. They spent time with friends in person. They went outside to actual physical locations. And did things together in person. They were a part of communities. But when you get more and more detached from that, nobody feels important anymore. Except a very few number of people who are as happy as can be. Mexico life. Authentic Mexico. What pluckery is this? A deep dive every Sunday. The Serial Travelist. An exploration of nomadic travel and international living. But you see, you don't need... Okay, I'll stop. I have to get through this. My beautiful fortress in Italy. Eyewitness newsletter. Adventures in travel, love, and chronic illness. The Souvenirist. Wherever you go, there you shop. Travel. Postcards from wherever. Postcards from Shetland. The Accidental Adventurer. Make America burpy again. Fighting loneliness, one adventure at a time. Thankful for failure. I want specifics. Give me specifics. And I didn't want to bring the mood down talking about behavioral science. But I just feel like it's a blind spot in research, study and research currently. And I don't think it's just going to keep getting worse and worse. I think humanity goes through phases. And things will get better again at some point for us. Things can't be great all the time. We have to go through periods of pain and suffering as a species. I don't know why, but it would appear to be just the way the world is. You know, it's important to stay positive, because people who stay positive are the ones that end up making things better. The ones who believe in their own, believe in themselves, in their own power to make a difference. At least in their own lives. You should always believe that you can at least make your own life better. Alright. American burpee. Jack Stack. Jacqueline Falcon. What are you doing, Jacqueline? Public drinking. Paris. She's only got launched 4 months ago. She's got 3 articles. How is she so high on the leaderboard? On the go mushrooms. I mean, in the past, there were probably cults, snake cults, that captured people's minds and made them less human. There's periods, it's just periods of peaks and valleys. Part poet, part guide on being an expat. And the snake cult probably used magic. I bet you the magic was incredible. On being an expat in Paris, dating men around the world, living the digital nomad life. So this is nothing new. We tend to think that because it's new, it's the way it's going to be. But it's not new. It's happened before. And if it's happened before, it's not the final destination. One foot in the cave. Buena onda. Alright, well, I guess that's it for now. I can't keep focused on this. But you know what? Let's take a screenshot of this so I remember where I was. And we'll get back to it at some point.